Wonderful to welcome you again to the Laura Cross Country and Biathlon Centre. Cross country relays on the program today. Skies are brightening, conditions improving by the minute. It's looking absolutely gorgeous out there, and we're hoping for an exciting race. It is the open relay. 4 by 2.5 kilometres. Great crowd in. How about those snow-covered trees as a backdrop? It's a wonderful venue, and the rugged mountains also surrounding this venue. And we're not far away from the start in the relay. There are 10 teams, 4 legs of 2.5 kilometres to be skied, and the Russian Federation will start as raging favourites. They are the world champions. They've got the same 4 from last year in Petushkov, Lekomtcev, Murygin and Minnegulov. So it's difficult to see them being beaten unless there's a fall or an accident or some other nation puts together the relay of their lives. And so Ukraine was second at the Worlds last year, and they'll be in the number 10 bibs. The snow's hard. They've packed it down nicely. It's colder the last few days of these Paralympic Winter Games. High humidity and just -1. But, there's no breeze to add to that chilliness. Is that a word, chilliness? I've just invented it if there wasn't. And there are some Russian flags flying with a great expectation that they'll get a result here. I'm more than confident they will. We've got Mr. Perfection in Petushkov. Roman Petushkov has 5 gold medals from 5 events, and this could be number 6, which could make him the most successful athlete at these games. Kazakhstan, France, China, Russian Federation, Belarus and Poland, United States, Canada, Finland and Ukraine. It's an open relay, and there are 4 women involved in the race today. One for Kazakhstan, Belarus, and Finland and Ukraine. Olena Iurkovska will actually ski first for Ukraine, and Maya Yarvala for Finland. Going third for Kazakhstan, Zanil Baltabayeva, and Vladislay Lekomtcev for Belarus. The Russian Federation is deciding to go first with Petushkov. Belarus is Lukyanenko. And you'll see a number of sport classes represented here, and an overall percentage factor for the team is applied. Chris Kleebel for Canada is there. There's Iurkovska. Ukraine, Ihor Reptyukh will follow. A lovely smile. Hope she has a good race. Of course, looks in wonderful condition. Snow we had a couple of days back certainly very helpful. Alexander Clarion has wonderful long hair. Looks pretty smart. There's a Cheng Shishwai for China. Big smile from him. Absolute delight on the faces of the athletes. It's so much fun to see that they're enjoying themselves. There we go. The sky's opening up nicely for us. A bit of sunshine poking through. Up to the line they come already. Mass start. Now they can go. Nearly had one away early. No damage done there. And here we go. Kazakhstan, France, China, Russian Federation, Belarus and Poland, and the USA, Canada, Finland and Ukraine. So on the right of your screens there, in the number 4 bibs, the Russian Federation's Roman Petushkov. And leading out first, looks like it's Benjamin Daviet of France. So different sports classes involved, obviously, and it'll even itself out across the race up to a point, but the better athletes are still going to prevail, one would think. Round the first bend goes Benjamin Daviet of France, the 24-year-old who was 7th in the sprint and 7th in the 7.5K biathlon. The Frenchman. Up he goes. And Petushkov doing his best to keep pace. Belarus in the green uniforms. Russian Federation team urging on Petushkov. Try and set up a victory for the team. He'll be followed, Petushkov, by Lekomtcev, Murygin and Minnegulov. And Murygin, the only member of that Russian team who's yet to win a gold medal, might be a different story in a while from now. So on the inside of Petushkov is Alexander Kolyadin. Here's the Belarusian Lukyanenko sitting behind those two. 2.5 Ks, it's going to be quite a quick race. They can just throw themselves at it, although, to be fair, like in the mixed relay, there are competitors skiing 2 sections. That's true for France. Daviet and Clarion will both go twice. And Kanafin for Kazakhstan, he'll ski twice. Kolyadin and Daviet still leading. Kolyadin nearly lost it there. Petushkov sitting in 3rd for the Russian Federation, then followed by Belarus's Lukyanenko. The Poland's Kamil Roziek coming through next. Chris Kleebel of Canada is joined by Brian McKeever today. See if the Canadians can sneak in to medal contention. They've certainly got a great skier in McKeever. Won 2 gold medals at these games. Kleber going around the bend now. He's a 42-year-old. He was 6th in the 15K cross country. Both Chris Kleber and McKeever are from Canmore, Alberta, in Canada. And Thomas Clarion of France getting ready to go. His guide is Julien Bourla. France, just looking at the open relay from the World Championships last year, France finished 4th, but Norway, who finished 3rd at those championships, aren't represented in this relay, so maybe France can get themselves on the podium here. Certainly being set up with a nice opening leg from Benjamin Daviet. 2 7th places. He's a mechanic and a plumber, Benjamin Daviet. He's the sort of guy you want to have as your next door neighbour. He can fix all sorts of things, your cars, your plumbing, clear your drains, change the tyres. Might have to pay him if you ask him to do that much. Belarus coming through, Lukyanenko. So Petushkov, 12 seconds behind Daviet, as is Kolyadin. 20 seconds down is Lukyanenko. Roziek of Poland coming through just under 25 seconds behind. Then here comes a rush of further teams. In the 7 is the United States. That's Augusto Jose Perez, originally from Spain. And the Chinese team led out today by Cheng Shishuai and Gu Haitao, Liu Jianwei and Zhu Dexin for China. This Kleebel trying to keep pace. And Maija Järvelä of Finland trailing the field at the moment. So she'll give it across to Juha Hakkinen, then Rudolf Klemetti and Laskego Lassi Kankkunen. That is the Finnish team today. Petushkov still driving it along, keeping good company there with Kolyadin. There's only been a metre or 2 between them the whole way around this first lap. We've still got Benjamin Daviet leading it for France. Very promising start. Thomas Clarion is a B1 sports class, so the highest impairment for the vision impaired category. Kolyadin and Petushkov side by side. It's a great race between the two. In the changeover area, if you weren't watching the mixed relay, what happens is that the athlete completing their leg of the relay doesn't have to touch their teammate or hand anything over. I think they just have to ski past the start-finish line, and once they're across, fully across the line, then their teammate can start the next sector. So watch that happen as Daviet moves around this right-hander into the home straight. And from a different area, his teammate Thomas Clarion and guide Julian Buller will set off. Daviet coming up to the line now on the right of your picture. His teammate can go now. So they set off. That's all fair and good. And that's the process that will be repeated throughout the relay. And the Russian fans getting excited because Roman Petushkov, a 36-year-old Muscovite, comes across the line, and so too does Kolyadin. So Russia and Kazakhstan both set off. And for the Russian Federation, it's Vladislay Lekomtcev. Gold in the 7.5K biathlon, bronze in the sprint and the 20K cross-country. Belarus coming through. Shapshiboy to take it up for Belarus. Kazakhstan's second skier is Kaida Kanafin, and his guide Dmitry Kolomyets, who will ski twice. For Poland, it's Vitaliy Skupian out on the course now. So France, Russian Federation, Kazakhstan. And then there's a fair way back to Poland and Belarus, who are nothing between them, a tenth of a second. Canada, they might get some improvement here out of the great cross-country skier in the vision impaired category, and that's Brian McKeever. He's got 2 gold medals here in the classic and the sprint. China, second for them is Ihor Reptyukh. And Ukraine, Ihor Reptyukh setting off after the first leg skied by Olena Iurkovska. Ukraine might start to make some improvement in terms of their margin with Reptyukh skiing his second leg. In comes Maija Järvelä for Finland, and next to go for the Finns, Juha Hakkanen. And Hakkanen's away. Real W4 sports class. Looks like Augusto Jose Perez has really given it his all. Only a while ago he was still receiving cancer treatment. He treats every competition as something to be treasured, and he really throws himself at it with the attitude that, well, I'm not sure how long I'll be able to do this. He's not clear of his cancer. So out on the field of competition though, Clarion still in front. Skipping of Poland goes through. Ihor Reptyukh and Bermejo of the United States. Omar Bermejo, originally from Guadalajara. So the first 2 athletes, Perez and Bermejo, from other parts, Spain and Guadalajara. And trying to make up some ground is Juha Hakkanen. His uncle was a cross-country gold medalist for Finland. Russia is in second spot, I can tell you, and Kazakhstan third. Well, he's got the checkpoint through 2.5 kilometres. Beautiful sunshine now. And, it can do what it likes today, the sun. We've got enough snow to get us to the end of these Paralympic Winter Games, that's for sure. Vladislay Lekomtcev, a 19-year-old, aiming to pick up a second gold medal here. He won the 7.5 kilometre biathlon. He's got 2 bronze medals from cross-country events, the 20 kilometres and the sprint. Thomas Clarion just being guided down the faster sections. Julian Borla there, it's all fine to just keep in contact with the stock of the guide. Can't tow them uphill, of course, but downhill gliding sections, that's all fine. Vasily Shepshiboy, his guide is Mikhail Lebedzu. Shepshiboy's a pretty quick skier, and it's going along pretty nicely for Belarus. Clouds still drifting by, and the sun disappearing behind one just for a second. And into the stadium comes the Russian Federation's Vladislay Lekomtcev, and be handing over to Grigory Murygin. And Murygin is very quick. He's a good biathlete, good cross-country skier, and let's see how he goes as Lekomtcev finishes his 2.5 kilometres. The Russian Federation in front as expected. Away goes young Murygin. They've got 2 19-year-olds plus 21-year-old Minnegulov to go last, and the veteran Petushkov has done his bit, the 36-year-old multi-gold medalist. And aiming to get his first, though, is Murygin, who's from Omsk. Understanding skiers may take some territory off him, we'll see. Third to go for Belarus will be Yadiva Skorobataya, one of the 4 women participating in this open relay. And Skorobataya is on her way. Irina Nafranovic is her guide. Knowing you've only got to ski 2.5 kilometres, you can really throw yourself at it, as Makiva is doing. He's absolutely flown around and lifted the Canadians up into 4th position. Back out onto the course goes Chris Kleebel. So Kleebel and Makiva are doing it all for Canada. I think they've got too much of a lead given to the Russian Federation and Belarus to haul them in completely, but it's Canada almost a minute down on the Russian Federation. France 30 seconds back and Belarus 37. So France with Benjamin Daviet skiing the second leg might take something out of the Russian Federation. Kazakhstan, Ukraine and Poland now have all made their changeovers. For Poland, back into action goes Kamil Roziek. So Roziek and Skupian both skiing twice. Here's Roziek. Will have to have held something back from his first lap to make sure he doesn't hit the wall in the second. China. Third skier will be Liu Jianhui. That's Du Haitao. Comes in and makes the changeover. Good to see China tackling the cross-country and biathlon events, gradually improving as each games comes and goes. Du Haitao given a good reception by this very fair and generous crowd. And out goes Liu Jianhui. China 2 minutes 40 behind the Russian Federation. United States make their next changeover, and Brian Price will do the third leg for them. Quite a number of the US Paralympic Winter Games team, former veterans, served in Afghanistan or Iraq. And the Finns have made up some ground on the US. Harkonen done a good job. Next to go will be Rudolf Clemeti, and his guide is Timo Salminen. Teams on their way. Murygin is still ahead of, looks like the Frenchman coming through, should be Daviet. Yes, Daviet 33 seconds behind Murygin, so looking pretty good for the Russian Federation, as we expected. Rushan Minnegulov will go last. And for France, it'll be Thomas Clarion. Still in third is Belarus and Diva Skorobataya and guide Irina Nafranovic, making good steady progress around the course. Can they hold on to third? Skorobataya a minute 6 behind Murygin, but beginning to catch them is Utkin of Ukraine, and as expected Ukraine is pacing the race nicely. Vitaliy Lukyanenko, who's won 2 gold medals, will go last for Ukraine. Those 2 goals in biathlon events, Lukyanenko. Just Kleebel for Canada is 1:35 behind Murygin. And Makiva will go last for Canada. He might be able to take something out of that. Carefully round the bend. There's Grigory Murygin. Russian Federation with a deep team with lots of quality and lots of athletes. They're able to put in 4 different athletes here. And having won the mixed relay, this could be another excellent day for them at the Laura Centre. Murygin carefully making his way down this back straight and then around in front of the grandstand. Shoulders will be hurting, but when you know the finish line is only a couple of 100 metres away, you can really give it some. Benjamin Daviet of France. This will be quite some achievement for them if they were to finish second. And Rushan Minnegulov, the Russian Federation, is going to be handed a lead here by Murygin. Murygin coming up to the start-finish area, and as soon as he's across, Minnegulov can go, and Minnegulov sets off at frenetic pace. Nothing other than a gold medal will do now for the Russian Federation, and it should be theirs. They've built a commanding lead. Round into the straight now. For France comes Benjamin Daviet, and Thomas Clarion is standing by, ready to go again with his guide Julian Bourlat. See if they can hold on to second place. They'll be under siege from Ukraine and possibly Belarus, with Vasily Shapshaboy to go last for them. Shapshaboy's already skied 2.5 Ks as well. See what sort of result France can get here. They were 4th at the World. China were 5th in the open relay. One of their better results in Paralympic Winter Sport events. And Ukraine coming in now. And to go last for Ukraine is Lukyanenko. He's got some pace about him, but I don't think he's got enough pace to catch this man who's skiing like the nation is relying on him. And perhaps they are in a small way. Rushan Minnegulov. They've got the same 4 men, the Russian Federation, that won the World Championship Open Relay last year in Sweden. It was Petushkov, then Lekomtcev, Murygin, and now Minnegulov. Meanwhile, let's see what the margin is. Back to Thomas Clarion of France. At the 500 metre mark of this last 2.5 kilometre leg. So Minnegulov is 42 seconds in front, so there's no doubt what's going to happen here. unless there's a gear breakage or something. But will Clarion be able to hold on, because Lukyanenko is flying. Vitaliy Lukyanenko and guide Boris Babar, they're closing in fast on the Frenchman. And they want that second place as they achieved at the Worlds. Lukyanenko is skiing off the back of a different team here. They had Olga Prilutska in the team last year, and she's been replaced by Iurkovska, who went first. Meantime, Belarus coming through in 4th position. But, they're well down now on Ukraine. So the top 3, in my mind, look pretty set. Makiva, as quick as he is, he's doing this course for a second time, remember. And Makiva and his very useful guide Eric Carlton, he's got to be a very good skier to be able to stay in front of Makiva. Makiva, you might recall 4 years ago, was controversially omitted from the Canadian Olympic cross-country team. I thought he was good enough, and he was all but selected, but they at the last minute opted not to use him. And it still rankles with him a little bit, although he also says they probably made the right decision. Poland's Vitaliy Skripin coming through now in 6th position. Canada in 5th, Poland 6th. The margin starting to extend between teams at the second half of the competition. But the Russian Federation is going to bring their man home. It's Rushan Minnegulov. It's going to be the double for them. They've been impressive winners already in the mixed relay. President Putin is here to see it. There's been a fall there. We'll perhaps come back to that. One of the lower ranked teams. Not to worry for Rushan Minnegulov as he makes his way around. Not far to go. The fans have seen him in the lead position still, so they're pretty excited about the big finish that's coming. Ski down behind the stadium, disappear, then come back out into view. Got a bit of a hill to do, and then they ski down into the stadium. Up this last incline for Minnegulov. And here he is. And the President's pretty happy about what he's watching here. Another victory for the Russian Federation. It was always going to be so. Just oozing quality, this team. Meanwhile, Ukraine relying on Vitaliy Lukyanenko to give them a podium finish. Well behind the Russians. It is 21-year-old Rushan Minnegulov anchoring the team to victory here in the open relay. They're the world champions, and now they are the Paralympic champions. Big smile on the face of the young man, coasting down to the line, enjoying every second. The Russian Federation, too good. And his teammates come out. Roman Petushkov, Vladislay Lekomtcev and Grigory Murygin joining Rushan Minnegulov. And here comes Lukyanenko for Ukraine, finishing very strongly. On the outside of Kazakhstan there, who are yet to make their last changeover, I believe. Yep, that's true. So Lukyanenko coming in. He's pretty pleased also. Happy to get the second place. He's already got a couple of gold medals, Lukyanenko. And now he's got a silver with his teammates. Olena Iurkovska and Ihor Reptyukh, Iurii, Utkin and Vitaliy Lukyanenko just managed to get past France on that last leg, and in come the French now. Brave effort from Thomas Clarion, who skied twice, remember, so did Benjamin Daviet. And they still managed to get the bronze medal. And I believe that's the first year at these Paralympic Winter Games for France. Then Canada, and Makiva gave it his best shot, but just not able to pull it off today. Congratulates the Russians. And again we're seeing the wonderful spirit in which these events are being conducted. The camaraderie between athletes. For some, this might be their last event. There are still events to be skied. This is something that I know gives a lot of people, myself included, a great thrill to see the respect, the friendships that are forged, and reconfirmed that every meet, the French thrilled to bits. What a result for them. Daviet and Clarion. Not forgetting Clarion's guide, Julien Bourla. It's the Russian Federation, then Ukraine, then France. There you 1, 2, 3 in the open relay. I think he was treasuring every second, every cheer, every meter down to the line. Little fist pump from Minnegulov. Second gold medal for him and a 6th for Petushkov. We've got athletes to bring home, so we'll stay with the competition. This is Poland's Vitaliy making his now familiar right hand bend into the straight. Gives a wave to the crowd. A lot of emotions around the host city, spectators and athletes alike, as you get towards the end of a Paralympic or Olympic Games. There's a certain melancholy or sadness, as well as the joy of having taken part, the sadness of it being nearly over. Yes, 6th place for Poland. Kamil Roziek and Vitaliy Lekomtcev did it all between them. Roziek helping Lekomtcev out of his skis. You know, someone once told me, it was actually at the Sydney Olympics, he said, nobody has everything, and that's why we have others. And that's why we have our friends and partners to help us get by. I saw that little moment there between Roziek and Lekomtcev. I wouldn't have given it a thought. Just stop and think what it meant. It did mean something. China coming down to finish their race. And at master ski, Zhu Dexin. Quite as high a finish as they enjoyed at the World Championships, where they managed 5th. Same 4 athletes, just not quite the result today. They'll come in 7th position. Russian Federation's winning margin 55 seconds, then a further 12 back to France, and then Canada. There's a busy finish coming up with Finland. Made good progress over the last leg with Lassi Kankkunen, lifting them well away from last place. That's not for them. 8th, in fact. And then the United States with Kevin Burton and his guide Gregory Rawlings coming in. Again, you're seeing the wonderful camaraderie between the athletes. Still got Kazakhstan, I think, out on the course. the victory ceremony here. It's been a nice addition, and normally just a flower presentation. But as we get towards the end of the Paralympic Winter Games, we're going to have a victory ceremony or two here. Kazakhstan today represented by Alexander Kolyadin. He's well in contention for the first leg, but not as quick behind him. Shout out to Kanafin, who's skiing 2 legs, the second and fourth. Zanil Baltabayeva, who took care of the 3rd leg. Photos for the Russian team and coaches. Petushkov, a perfect 6 out of 6 for him. And surely it's acknowledged as the athlete of the games in terms of return of medals he's achieved. Kanafin and Dmitry Kolomayets, the guide. Not far to go now for them. Just the last turn into the home straight. Again, this generous crowd will make sure that the Kazakhstan team know they're appreciated. Many of them on their feet. Had a wonderful day. Great session for the Russian Federation here, and they're in generous mood. But they have been, regardless of where their teams and athletes finish. So Kazakhstan will finish the open relay, and that'll be the conclusion of the event. Come in 10th position. So Russia, then Ukraine, then France. 1, 2, 3. And it's a quick race with the Russian Federation getting around in under 24.5 minutes. Ukraine just over 25, 25.5 for France. They get around pretty quickly, especially when they know they're only skiing 2.5 kilometres each. That's the case for the Russian Federation with a 4-man team. Confirming then the 4x2.5 kilometre open relay has been won by the Russian Federation ahead of Ukraine and France. Canada was 4th, and Belarus, Poland, China, Finland, the United States and Kazakhstan. That's an infectious smile that Rushan Minnegulov has. Came across the line with a comfortable winning margin. As happy as could be. So we will have a victory ceremony. There's a medal presentation this time instead of just the flowers, to really add something to the occasion, and I'm sure that a lot of these spectators will want to stay for that. It'll be some minutes away, but we would invite you to be with us for that as well if you'd like to see that happy presentation. We're delighted with their placing, and so was Ukraine. There'll be some happy athletes about to receive their medals and flowers, and they'll be just a few minutes away, so we'll rejoin you for that shortly.